Hey guys, Verlis here, and I wanted to talk about the new 1.8 snapshot that introduces 3 new types of rocks: diorite, andesite, and granite. So, a lot of people have already put out the hype videos and whatnot. I wanted to take this to a new level and just show how much thought was put into these 3 new rock types. Like, you could look at it, just kind of see that, alright, that's 3 new types, but really, a lot of design and architectural thought has been put into these because they work so good with so many building resources, and it creates a lot of different effects. The first one you can see is by the little beveling that they have, making the top side lighter and the bottom side darker. You can get a lot of recessed feel, even though it's completely flat. Looks like there's a little, like, almost 1 pixel bump difference, and if you just compare it to like regular stone, it has a lot of really pop to it, which is really nice. So I was looking into a couple of design ideas, and first off, looking at I think this is andesite. This one looks like it's just going to be the best to integrate into like any building situation, because something with stone or something with wood just goes really well with how smooth it is. Then it looks like granite might be the second best, just because again it goes smooth, not as smooth, but still has some good texture to it. And then the diorite is really rough, textured, and harsh, but if you use it correctly, it can still look really nice. So the first thing I thought for diorite is that using it for like a tile kind of idea. I was thinking like the bottom of a pool has that harsh texture to it, and if you use it underwater, it kind of smooths it out and makes it look really nice. And then you can blend it into either more like polished diorite like that to create a wall, or have andesite next to it, and it can make some really neat effects. Another thing is andesite looks really good with the stone bricks. So here's just a simple idea for maybe a pool or some kind of like little water scene. And now we have like how the floor tiles could look. So what I found is that quartz looks really nice with all 3 of the block types. If it's a quartz floor and then having something coming up from it, makes it feel fancy, like some kind of rich home idea. If you just kind of look, mostly with the granite, looks really nice as they pair up. And then this has a bit of similarities to it. It looks nice, and then the contrast here, again, really good. But then also looking at the diorite as a tile texture, if you look at it, you know, next to wood, next to some more stone, and next to diorite or andesite, it feels like some kind of tiling that you'd find at home, you know, really rough textured tile that looks really nice. So I feel there's a lot of things that could really work out here. And now we have just a ton of things I've been looking into. So another thing is that like granite seems like it could go okay if you pair it up with all the stained clay and even the stained glass. Not the best, but I mean, it still kind of feels like it goes together, just because the tones have that more earthiness, the redness to them from the clay. Also compared it to bricks, nothing too special. It looks like granite, again, looks nice, maybe even the andesite, just because andesite just looks nice with everything. Then I was just doing some gravel comparisons, because like if you take the raw forms of these instead of the polished forms, it kind of looks similar, but again, it just feels like it blends into some kind of like really gravelly kind of texture. And that's what you're going for. It works, but I don't see it being used really for a building standpoint. And then I tried to take it and compare it with like all the wood types, and the jungle wood, like the actual jungle wood, does not look good with any of them, so I decided to just exclude it. But so far, it looks like the birch looks really nice with the diorite. Also, the acacia works really well with everything. It contrasts the granite. It blends in really well with the diorite and andesite. The rest of the actual wood types don't do too well. Everything kind of goes well with the andesite and a bit with the granite. But if you go into the actual planks, the acacia planks look good. The jungle planks look really good with the granite. And there's just kind of a nice little feel overall for everything, if you just want to look at that for a second. You know, that some of them work really well, some of them don't. But overall, you can kind of mix and match and get a good feel for it. Here, there's just more like straightforward quartz comparison. They all look really good with quartz. So, I mean, now that you're seeing this, everything is really just blending together with these 3 new block types. Like 3 new block types have almost more than doubled all the patterns you can have, any kind of building potential. Let's see, over here, I just kind of looked into like what happens if you blend it in with cobblestone. It's okay, like up close it's really fuzzy and has a lot of noise to it that isn't good and gets really blurry, like here. It's hard to kind of distinguish things, but from a distance, you can kind of see it a lot better. So maybe if you had like a far off kind of idea, it'd be really nice using the like rough diorite and andesite with cobblestone. Let's see, over here, I was just kind of looking into the polished forms, and they make really good like window accents. You know, if you use a lot of the diorite together, I feel it won't really work out, but you can kind of separate them, use them for windows, put them next to something, you know, have them more being just extras. Looks really nice. Over here is a really good idea of like how well the bevels cause it to just give it texture and depth. You know, flat, this is what we're used to, but now with just the diorite, you get an extra dimension, and you can either just use that all the way across, you know, just change up all the house, change all the stone to andesite, and it could look really nice for the different things, or you can just create patterns, and the patterns can still really look good, because like right here, even though this doesn't have any depth to it, next to the depth it looks really nice. And then it works with stone, it works with the quartz. Not so much on the glass. I was trying to compare like what gives the most depth feel and what makes not the greatest. The glass doesn't have too much of a difference. It's still noticeable, but it's not as impressive as just having a slab over here, or even you can do it the other way around. You could have the instead of like sandwiching the wood, you can sandwich it between the wood, and again, just really nice feels. So this creates a lot of ideas. And then one thing I saw and thought was really nice is that if you do a different kind of pattern, you know, these diagonals, you can really blend the granite with the polished granite with the rough granite. The rough diorite, stupid rain. The rough diorite and the rough andesite look really pretty good. Again, this is like really fuzzy up close, but I mean if you back off, looks nice. Putting the 2 block types next to each other on a diagonal is good. The andesite, this feels like really nice if you want to go for like some kind of old school stone texture. Instead of doing stone and cobblestone, this is a lot smoother and looks a lot better. So that's just a couple of building ideas and thoughts I've had playing around with these for the first couple hours or so. Just trying to figure out what block types work really well, and so far I think that this is my favorite, just with the way the pool kind of idea. It has that right texture, or using diorite as a floor tiling, and then keeping it with the andesite. So there's a lot of potential here. Just adding those couple of blocks changes the game for what you can really do, and I feel like I should go back through my houses and give it a lot of this andesite texture with anywhere where the wood meets stone. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just instead of just doing a straight up review of the snapshot, I'm actually going a lot more in depth with what the block types actually do. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a nice day.